Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Page number 15 and 16, part 2. Guru, he who turns us into our real self. A story of a king and queen. There was a king. Once there is a king, he will have to have an enemy king and war. There was an enemy against this king in this story too. To his bad luck, he lost the battle and ran away. Some kings may give up their life, saying, victory or otherwise, heavens of the brave. Some may run away from the battlefield to hide. That does not mean anything to be ashamed of. Even a tiger backtracks before pouncing. Even brave Rajput kings have to withdraw so as to regroup and go on to the offensive while fighting the Mughals and Turks. Our king, the king in our story too, ran away from the battlefield instead of committing suicide. He was not alone. He was also carrying his wife on horseback. She was 8 months plus in a family way at that time. The practice of people going underground to avoid detection and apprehension nowadays used to be in vogue. In those days too, the king's minister had gone dogo then. He knew that the king and queen had escaped on horseback. The horse was passing through a forest. The enemy king had sent his cavalry in the direction to trace out the missing king. Some of them had picked up his trail and were close on his heels. The king happened to notice a hunter's hut in the forest. He got an idea. He stopped the horse and got his wife down. He told her, go inside the hut and save yourself. There are too many of the enemy soldiers closing in. Neither can I escape, nor can I fight. It is best that you save yourself, since you are carrying my offspring in your womb. One day in the future, he can fight and regain our lost empire. So instead of dying with me and get name and fame as Pativrata Nari, you better take care of yourself and our baby by surrendering to this hunter. Though this was an intolerable order, she could not go against his wishes either, as there is a Rajaputra Kula Dharma to abide with. The king was shortly captured and his story ends there. The captors were not looking for anything more. They were happy with getting their prized catch. After all, the king intended exactly that. In the hunter's hut, there was a mother of the hunter. She gave welcome hospitality to the pregnant woman who had come from nowhere and surrendered to her. More than sophisticated and educated, poor people are always more prompt and forthcoming in taking care of the people in need. The royal lady was looked after by the hunter woman as though she was her own daughter. The queen gave birth to a baby boy. She died while in labor, as though her job was over. Some 12 years passed by. The enemy king was still in power. People were unhappy. Though their king had lost the battle, their loyalty to the traditional king was still active. The citizens were not aware of the fact that king's failed effort to escape, the queen's death in labor, and the birth of the baby boy in the hunter's place. They were silently tolerating the reign of the usurper. The minister was the only person still alive and aware that king had made an escape bid with the queen who was pregnant at that time. He started looking for the progeny. His analysis of the situation was that had the queen been saved somehow, she would have given birth to a boy, and that boy would have been about 12 years of age. By God's grace, if such a thing had happened, it is his duty to search and locate the boy. Then it was necessary to train the boy in Dhanurveda, that is archery, and other kingly attributes. Once the people know that he is a rightful incumbent, they would rally around him quite naturally in overwhelming the enemy king. He set about this task on the quiet. The minister happened to come across the hunter's hut in the forest. The king's son was playing around with the some other children. He was sparsely clothed. He was wearing a bandana with a colorful feather stuck in it. He had a necklace of beads and toenails of the tiger. Despite the crude and poor get-up, his royal bearing and resemblance to the earlier king was unmistakable. The old mother of the hunter was still alive. The minister approached her. Simple folk of the forest, unexposed to sophistication, do not know how to bluff and cheat. She spoke the truth when she said, some years back, a pregnant woman suddenly appeared in my hut and one day and asked for asylum. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Rama 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 Rama